All right, y'all. You already know what time it is. It's your boy Moodystarr, back again with another one. So real quick, this live video is not gonna be too long. I'm gonna talk to you guys like it's a FaceTime. All right. Um, it is currently 11:08 p.m. as I start this live, right? And today is feeling very familiar. It's feeling it's feeling more because I went live earlier today and I spoke on some things or whatnot, and I don't know, like today feels just very familiar. It feels like deja vu as hell, like really deja vu. You know what I'm saying? Yo, what's good, bro? Dom in the building. So yeah, man. Today feels very. It's like eerie as hell. Like it's just feeling familiar, dog. Like I don't know if it's like a maybe an X, maybe a certain pattern, maybe just like a certain type of energy that's in the air that's probably wanting me to revisit again. And it's just like I didn't change and I didn't evolve so much. It's just like, bro, like I don't know. It's like I'm in this space of like clarity. By the way, today, um, I finally went running for the first time in about like maybe 3 or 4 weeks, bro. And I am out of shape. I'm out of shape, but I still ran my 2.5 miles today. Well, I didn't run the whole thing. I ran for at least 22 minutes straight because if you missed the live earlier, I was talking about how there was an Instagram post saying that if you run for at least 22 minutes, you your body produces like this cannabis type of like effect where you become high. Like you ever heard of people when they say, "Oh damn, you have runner's high" if you're like running in like a marathon or if you're running a race or something like that. Like you experience runner's high after 22 minutes. So with that being said, I did my running. I started at I want to say like 5:30, and then I did it for about a whole hour. So you know what I'm saying. I took care of that, right? So there has been a couple of questions that people have been asking, especially on my current live. I appreciate everybody who's been hitting up my email. If you want to work with MGT, you can email moodystar2022 at gmail.com. For I'm looking for clippers. I'm looking for just like people who want to like do different consultations or just business. Essentially, I'm trying to get y'all paid. You feel me? Um, and not only get y'all paid, but like keep y'all informed as to what to expect while you're on the retention journey, while you're on your purpose. You feel me? While you putting yourself first. You know what I'm saying? You always want to put purpose above everything, even women. Now again, women will actually respect you when you are actually purpose driven. If you're purpose driven, women will respect you 100%. They may act like damn, bro, like what's so more important to me? But like trust and believe, like in the long run, they're gonna fuck with you because number one, if you're purpose driven, then that means you have a bright future. If you have a bright future, then that means for her, she may feel some type of way at that moment of time if you say you got to go to work, or if you say, hey, I got to cut this conversation short, or if I tell you, hey, if I'm talking to my chick, I say, hey, I think you should go to sleep early tonight. Last night we was on the phone wilding. You get what I'm saying? You want to make sure you put yourself first. Like this is the reason why I can even like go live right now. You get what I'm saying? Um, we have to be aware of like just like the things now that happen. Now, a question that was asked, right? Uh, it was a very good question, right? So if you've been watching a couple of my lives, or even like if you're a female and you happen to be watching my live and you think like I'm trying to like play games with you or use tactics on you and shit like that. First of all, It's nothing like that at all. Okay. The thing about it, excuse me, the thing about it is that from time to time, like, you know what I'm saying, if I'm talking to a female who happens to be watching this, because I ain't gonna lie, some of y'all be watching my content. So just in case, if you happen to be watching this on a replay, um, it's nothing more than just understanding energy. You feel me? Women are going to understand your state. Like no matter what you say, it's more so about how you say it and the timing of when you say it or the timing of how you act. Like if you was watching my live, I was talking about like, you know, different types of women to possibly look out for while practicing retention. Uh you get what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody in the building, by the way. Everybody with the gang, you know, we here. S was a STK Quavo and was that Lovin Dean, the God Machine 333. So yeah, um, it's not a manipulation thing. Okay, it's not nothing about control or manipulation. It's just simply understanding energy. Okay. Now somebody asked me, they were like, "Hey, if I'm watching your videos, right? Because again, I personally don't believe in like dating coaches and shit. There's no right or wrong answer that you can say to a woman. Every woman is everyone. Excuse me. Every woman is different. Every guy is different. So if I tell you to say something to a woman, it may or may not hit because first of all, you got to resonate with what you're saying. If you don't believe what you're saying, then whatever you say is gonna be null and void. Like the shit ain't gonna matter. You get what I'm saying? Uh, so with that being said, we're gonna get into this question. I'm gonna answer the question, and I kind of emailed like the information to myself, so I know like how to just pull up everything. Someone said currency is energy, right? And that's 100% true. My dog said I'm 21, been on and off retention since 2022. That's what's up, bro. 21 years of age, bro. Shit, yeah, about to hit your prime, my boy. You about to hit your prime, my G. All right, so here we go. Let me see. Also, I know something about the whole thing. So this is an email sent. This is a question. They're like, I also noticed something about the whole thing when I'm talking to said person. Like, if I try to center, if I try to center myself, because you say if you're centered, you know, like apply some of the things you told me. Like, don't get me wrong, it works, but then it also comes off as I'm trying to actually manipulate her, or I'm actually, which I'm actually not trying to, but like, damn. First of all, there's a whole lot of spelling issues and wordings going on. So you know, I apologize for the question or whatnot. But basically, they're asking, how can you uniquely still be yourself while still understanding like female attraction, understanding attraction in general, while you are practicing retention? You get what I'm saying? Hold on. My dog said, I'm 26, been on and off from retention since 2018. I wish I would have came across SR at that age. You know what? The crazy thing about it is that like naturally you kind of learn about retention. You just don't know. You just don't like understand the benefits at first. You know what I'm saying? But I said female attraction at a young age and growing at the same time is insane. Glad I found out about it. Absolutely, bro. Especially at the age of 21, I started like really learning about like female attraction is also like just how women react to like guys in general. I started learning about the science of it like 27, 28. You feel me? I wanted to get into the mind of just like the psychology of how humans, you know what I'm saying, are, attracted to each other and shit. You feel me? Male and female type shit. And when I got into the mind of like how a woman works, I never fully figured it out, but I also found out like it's very complex, it's very intriguing, and you have to learn how to circumnavigate the emotions and the logic and everything. Your emotions as well, not just hers, but your emotions for her and shit like that. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get into what I researched or whatnot. Okay, so cool. How to blend masculine quote unquote tactics with your authentic self. Again, so when we talk about tactics, like quote unquote, what are tactics? Tactics. If a female is shit testing you, if she's on an emotional up and down, if she is saying things to trigger you, to get your attention, to get you to react, there's a certain way how you're supposed to deal with that. Usually, you got to be at least like non-reactionary, or you have to stay centered. You feel me? You can acknowledge what she's saying, but if you become too emotionally invested in what she's saying, then now she got you. You feel me? If she can get you to go up and down and like emotional, like go like argue back and forth, you already lost the battle. Like I don't even know why you still trying to argue. The fact that she got you to argue type shit. Now, mind you, it could be a perfect day for you. You don't necessarily have to do anything for a female to test you. You feel me? Sometimes it just subconsciously happens. Sometimes like you feel me, their life is like a book. And if they, send you a text message or something like that, don't overreact. You understand the emotional states and really understand her. Like still be yourself though, you feel me? Because the very second when you try to act like a robot or act like, you have no feelings whatsoever, number one, she's gonna peep that. And number two, she's not gonna play no games with you, bro. You feel me? There's a game that's being played, but once a woman knows that like you are conscious and now you're kind of playing your game and shit like that, then obviously she's gonna up her game to another level. So what you need to do is learn how to be yourself, be subtle, be centered, be purpose based. You feel me? Your world doesn't revolve around her. You feel me? You better yourself so that way, like when shower frequencies are aligned, and that's when, okay, y'all can have a good time. You could chill, you could talk to her. There's nothing wrong with expressing feelings and shit like that. But too much expressing, excuse me, too much expressing, too much time together. When you give her a chance to get bored and shit like that, and and she's still in your presence, that's when it becomes a problem. That's when the attraction level actually dims down. Shout out to everybody in the chat. This morning when I went live, it was barely anybody in the chat, so I don't know if my audience is like a night type of streaming, chat. Um, I don't know if you guys basically are more active in the night or in the day, but like I'm gonna see throughout the week. You feel me? But y'all definitely active today. So again, how to blend masculine tactics with your authentic self so you don't come off as manipulative. This is hypnotic, philosophical, and easy easy to learn. Okay. Number one, women don't respond to your words; they respond to your state. And I said that earlier. You can literally say anything in a book. There's no like right or wrong answer as to what you can say to express yourself. But what state are you coming from? I remember when I started a live like maybe 2 or 3 days ago where I said like pack your bags, you're about to be moving. Like you're about to move to a higher frequency. A higher frequency is like where your soul is kind of living at. Okay, your soul, your spirit. So whatever state you're in, if you're in a positive state, if you're in a masculine state, if you're in a confident state, no matter what you say, it can be left field as hell. But if you know how to like still be smooth, like I'm telling you, bro, because With me, it's natural. I don't think about it. You feel me? I'm not gonna lie. Uh, when I talk, or like, when I'm talking to a female and shit like that, um, I it's literally not planned. It's not planned or anything. Like, I'm very unpredictable, and you have to learn how to be unpredictable. You have to learn how to, like, just have the gift of the gab, and just be confident in yourself, bro. Don't overthink it. Once you start to think about what you gonna say to a female, or when you're trying to, like, because guys do a terrible job of, like, trying to pick a woman's mind when they really want to pick a woman's mind. Like, it's not supposed to be like, oh, I'm gonna ask you trick questions, or I'm gonna see how you react to this statement. You get caught up in that, like, that's just not gonna last. You have to be organically yourself. You got to be able to flow, right? So with me, again, it's very natural. I'm very free. I'm very self aware. That's the number one thing. You got to understand who you are. You got to be self aware of yourself. You feel me? Um, I am not afraid to say what other people think. So with that being said, that comes off as, like, courageous and stuff, and women actually find that attractive. Sometimes I'll be posted on Facebook, for example, and a female, she'll like what I say, but it's almost as if she wished that her man that she's dating, or she's married, sometimes they wish he can be as courageous as me. You feel me? And I'm not trying to, like, say, like, that's the case all the time, but I've heard that shit before a while ago. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to Roster Fit 23, Medea Dog, big major things are going. But it's about balance. Don't be overly self aware, because that can just hinder you. Yeah, well, and so when you talk about overly self aware, you can be self aware with yourself, but, like, if you are being saying too much, oversharing with a woman about yourself, then that's when it becomes an issue, because now it's like, okay, when y'all talk, like, she's gonna be looking for, like, okay, is he using me, or is he trying to, like, fuck with my brain, or, like, you get what I'm saying? So keep it natural, bro. All right. So how to blend masculine tactics with your authentic self. Women don't respond to your words; they respond to your state. If your internal energy is calm, grounded, confident, playful, you can say anything and it hits smooth. Again, if your internal energy is calm, grounded, confident, and playful, meaning, like, you can't be too serious, like, nigga, lighten up. Lighten up. You can tell ain't nothing wrong with having, like, telling a joke here and there. Or if she's laughing and stuff, like, sometimes you can match her energy. You feel me? You don't always have, like, being masculine doesn't mean being serious all the time. It's just like, oh yeah, like, I have no feelings, and oh, I'll call you later, and you get what I'm saying? Like, nah, vibe. Like, you feel me? Talk to her or vibe with her. If you want to chill, you can chill, but, like, make sure you're still purpose driven. Make sure you're grounded, you're confident. If your internal energy is anxious, strategic, or calculating, you can say all the quote unquote right lines and still give off weird vibes. So, again, it's not about you trying to impose tactics, it's more so about you staying engaged within what the hell is going on. Okay. Like, read body language, read, like, see what type of mood she's in. You feel me? Now, like, the only time I would say to quote unquote, like, I won't even call it tactics. I'll just say a defense mechanism, because you don't want to overly invest into ideas that, let's say she shares an idea with you that you don't agree with. Obviously, it is what it is. You're not going to always agree with everything that she says, but you don't have to overly invest emotions into something that you don't agree with. You feel me? Once you get into that type of realm and she can get you, then again, like the emotional ups and downs will always happen, but you have to remain centered at all times. You feel me? Still be emotionally intelligent, laugh, or if she's feeling the type of way, if she's feeling down, or sad or something like that, definitely encourage her and stuff. But understand, make sure it's not a pattern, because sometimes people can do that. You feel me? So just understand patterns and cycles as far as like the emotional like ups and downs. It's never gonna be the same. You feel me? So again, if your internal energy is anxious, strategic, and calculating, you can say all the right lines and still give off weird vibes. Women don't read your mouth, they read your energetic signature. So your energetic signature essentially cannot be really pre-planned. Your energetic signature depends on your electromagnetism. And your electromagnetism depends on how much creative energy you have within your body. Once you retain your energy, you retain your seed, you're on semen retention, you are charging yourself up. If you're charging yourself up, you have more of a noticeable energetic signature. Like you have to do that. You know what I'm saying? So that's how like things come off very organic, you know, and it's smooth. It's not like a calculating or you're trying to see what the hell she's on because again, the very second that you try to do that, you're just gonna fuck up the flow that was already naturally happening. If you already naturally can attract attract a beautiful woman, you don't have to switch it up. It's just more so about not oversharing and just giving her space. That's all. Just give her time. Really give her time to miss you. That's the main thing. Because no matter what, she can be paying attention to somebody else, but as long as you are focusing on yourself, you're on your purpose, then things will align exactly how you need them to align. Okay, so don't force it. All right. Uh, That's why when you're just being yourself, she opens up. And when you start applying tactics, she feels something is off. Women are great at reading intuition and intention when you speak. Um, so again, understand what's happening this entire time. You feel me? Number two, again, this is and just in case you are new to the chat, make sure you hit the like button. I appreciate that. If you want to drop a bag on the Cash App to support the team, I appreciate that as well. This is a it's kind of like my nine to five. But again, somebody asked, they emailed me. They basically said like, how can I still be organically myself while still understanding female attraction, while still understanding like the subconscious mind, without coming off as like you are manipulative, right? So it says again, how to blend masculine energy with your authentic self. Okay, this number three, centering. Wait, no, number two. All right, number two, the secret. Don't use the tactic. Become the type of man who doesn't need it. Okay. Retention is embodiment. Centering is embodiment. Attraction is embodiment. Women are intuitive, not because they're psychic, but because they evolved to sense. They evolved to sense incongruence, forced behavior, fake confidence, emotional fear, hidden motives, neediness disguised as calm. When you do tactics, but not your natural state, but not your natural state yet, there's a delay between your intention and your energy. She doesn't consciously know what's off, but she feels a mismatch. All right, so I remember when I used to watch like a lot of red pill videos, and then when I tried to like incorporate the mindset, when I tried to when I tried to incorporate the mindset, what happens is I see results, but then it's just like now I have to keep up this persona. You get what I'm saying? And appreciate the donation from Quavo. Appreciate you, G. So essentially, because she senses something off, and like, because again, I got my own natural energy signature. I got my own way to talk to women. I got my own way. Like when I don't think about it, that's what I'm saying. Like, be yourself. This is most of the time. There's two reasons why like guys even have use quote unquote tactics on women. It's two reasons. The first reason is maybe she's on an emotional roller coaster up and down, and she probably just needs time to express herself. But sometimes guys take it personal when she start expressing herself or like talking about her ideas, half the time she just wants to be heard. You feel me? She wants to be understood or heard. But guys tend to take it personal, and then when she wants to be heard whole time, you're looking at it as an argument, and now this is how, the emotional, like, the arguments start, you feel me? Just from a misunderstanding. You don't always have to take everything that she says personal. Or just in life. When people are talking to you, you don't always have to take everything personal. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes people just want to express themselves. You feel me? So you have to know when to govern yourself as to listen, sit back and listen, or remove yourself if you know, like, okay, now's the time that I have to end this conversation because it's really not going to go nowhere. It's just going to lead to like more arguing and shit. You feel me? So, again, the secret, don't use the tactic, become the type of man who doesn't need it. Retention is embodiment, centering is embodiment, attraction is embodiment. Women are intuitive, not because they're psychic, but because they evolved to same sense. Because they evolved to sense incongruence, forced behavior, fake confidence, emotional fear, hidden motives, neediness disguised as calm. When you do tactics, but it's not your natural state, yet there's a delay between your intention and your energy. She doesn't consciously know what's off, but she feels a mismatch. All right. So, number three, masculine centering should feel like your default setting, not a button you press. All right. And shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody in the building. I appreciate y'all tapping in. Keep in mind, like I said, this information is not to be used to try to manipulate people. It's more so for you to understand your emotions, your energy, and also understand your woman's emotions or energy or whatever female you tend to attract. Okay. Once you start to be strategic and, like, again, guys do a terrible job at that. So you might as well program your subconscious mind to always recenter yourself, be yourself, but then know when it's like, okay, I'm saying too much. Or like, damn, I'm being too emotionally available. Let me pull back my emotions. You get what I'm saying? How she reacts emotionally, low key, it may have something to do with you, but you don't have to overreact. You feel me? I'm telling you. I'm telling you, once you are calm for real, calm, cool, and collected, she's gonna feel understood type shit. And that's the whole point. It's not even about like, trying to weather the storm or whatever the case may be. It's like there's gonna be times where you feel a type of way and she has to listen. You feel me? Now if you are like in a union, a bond like that, and you're dealing with a female who's real, then that's what's up. More power to y'all. All right, number three. Masculine centering should feel like your default setting, not a button you press. When she starts acting different or defensive, the worst thing you can do is switch personas, switch tone, switch energy, apply technique. Okay? So let me repeat that. When she starts acting different or defensive, the worst thing that you can do is switch personas, switch tone, switch energy, apply technique. Now, I still need to work on that. Okay? Especially if I care for a female and I know, like, okay, she's trying to get under my skin, because usually the only type of women that can actually get under your skin are the ones that you really, really, really like, and they really, really like you, and y'all have like this like sexual tension, toxic bond kind of going on, even if it's just a talking stage. Um, what you never want to do, like I said, is switch personas or switch tone or switch energy. I am a Gemini. I can go from one emotion to the next emotion very, very fast. Shit can go left out of nowhere with me. You feel me? If I'm feeling some type of way, or if you say something, it just depends. It really depends. I'm very unpredictable. So whenever like I do feel like, because again, I don't give a fuck how nice she is. I don't care what she says to you or whatnot. Um, and we're talking like grown people. You feel me? Again, this is not to down anybody, not to down men or women, but just in a relationship in general. When you talk about attraction, attraction is literally something that you work on every day. Attraction sometimes will involve two individuals that may disagree on something, but y'all can still come to an understanding. The reason why a lot of relationships don't work out is because lack of control, like the balance of like power and control and emotions. You feel me? Sometimes emotions get misconstrued, and then somebody will take something personally. Somebody will say something to trigger that person, and now you're in a whole argument. You feel me? So women instantly feel the shift. Instead, the correct move is to stay the same man. Adjust your awareness, not your persona. Be aware of like either where her emotions may be coming from, what you probably may have did in the past. Because again, you can be perfectly, you can do no mistakes, and she may find a mistake that you do. Like it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It might go past like male logic. You feel me? Female logic and male logic are two different types of logics. You feel me? So just chill, just vibe. It's just an energy shift. You see what I'm saying? If you stay the same man as far as like being calm in a tense situation, things will always balance themselves out. The very second you start to become over emotional and get too emotionally invested into a thought or an idea or just like an emotional state, that's when it becomes like most guys fail. You feel me? And then they try to manipulate or try to like change the subject. You get what I'm saying? Like just do different stuff. Now I'm not saying that there's if you're gonna change the subject, there's a way how you change the subject. Okay. And again, I can't tell you how to be me, but I'm very good at doing that. You know, I like when you once you're confident and you have that creative energy. I can't tell you how to do that, but you have to develop that within yourself and then develop the chemistry with a woman. Like, you know, if you're talking to one night or if you've been married with her for about 5 or 6 years, it's the same thing. Same shit applies. Okay. Uh, Number four, don't be strategic in the moment. Train in private so it's natural in public. Okay. If a man practices grounding, breath work, breath control, presence, and emotional regulation every day, then he talks to a woman. He doesn't do tactics. So again, the quote unquote tactics aren't really tactics. This is more reprogramming your subconscious mind, doing the breath work, being calm, being centered, just staying on your purpose. Now, I could have easily veered from not being on my purpose tonight, like for real. Tonight felt very, very familiar in the sense that I could possibly like relapse based off of like just a thought or based off of just like, you know, feeling quote unquote emptiness or loneliness. I could have fed into those energies, but I was like, wait, that's an example of me losing my focus. Let me refocus myself because in order for me to build the empire that I want to build, I have to put in work. Um, I don't have a regular 9 to 5 job. I do side jobs, but I don't have a regular 9 to 5 job. In order for me to get to my studio, get my own spot, even though I already started that, I kind of already started the process. You know, I'm just waiting on the due date for for applications and interviews to go through. But in the meantime, I need to continue to keep building. I don't have the VBs. I don't have the VBs or the bust downs yet or anything like that. So I have to stay focused. I have to continue to keep putting in the work. You see what I'm saying? So, uh, quote unquote, training in private is like you like preparing yourself for like when you have the car, you have the Hellcat or the BMW or the Audi or whatever car that you like, whatever house that you want to have type shit. Like once you get these things, bro, which by the way, these things don't even really mean too much. Like I heard somebody, I'm kind of veering off, but I'm gonna get back into the topic of conversation. But apparently, when Jamaica got hit by the hurricane and whatnot, a lot of people lost their places. You feel me? And I heard like people online, they was talking about how like, people always put value into a car and a house and a business and all of these things. But really, the real value is in life itself. Like you breathing, you knowing how to manage your energy, you being thankful, you being able to walk, talk, have your mindset, all of that, all of them, like that is like the most important thing. That's the most powerful thing. You yourself, living, breathing, talking, walking, singing, dancing, laughing, rapping, whatever you're doing, bro. Like, you are the spark, you are the charge that makes that you're a part of, like the matrix that makes this whole matrix move. When you talk about money, money has really has no consciousness. The only consciousness that money has is like whoever owns that money. Once you own that money, that's when the money becomes conscious. But the money don't really have no value at all. So you start to see like, wait, the value's not really in the money. The value is within the humans who put value into the money. They say, hey, like I'll do anything if you give me $500, $6,000 or whatever the fuck. You feel me? So just keep in mind, spiritual currency, like Homeboy said earlier. Yes, we have physical currency, but also keep in mind that like the real power literally lies within you. All right. So again, um, don't be strategic in the moment. Train in private, so it's natural in public. If a man practices grounding, breath work, control, presence, and emotional regulation every day, then he talks to women. He doesn't do tactics. He is just that guy. Women can also tell the difference between he's trying to be confident and he's confident. Okay. So the game isn't learning tactics. It's becoming it's becoming the man tactics where trying to teach you to imitate. I kind of didn't understand that part low key. If you guys understood it, then let me know. Somebody asked, shout out to Raw Daniel. You asked Moodystarr, do you think our soulmates are already chosen for us and that we don't need to worry so much about finding the right person? Um, that's a really good question. I think to a certain extent, yes, because what's destined for you will be destined for you. So get into the flow state. Once you get into the like when you talk about your soulmate is someone that like is just naturally going to happen. She's gonna come into your life. And by the time she comes into your life, it's probably gonna be on divine timing. So in retrospect, if you really think about it, yeah, I think your soulmate is already out there. It's just are you going to align yourself with that same frequency? You feel me? Or are you still, dealing with all these other soul ties? Like you got a soulmate and then you have like multiple soul ties. And I think that's how you can tell the difference. You feel me? I have like a lot of soul ties. Have I met a soulmate? I think I have met a soulmate. I think, and I also think too, to be totally honest, you may have multiple soulmates. Believe it or not, it just depends on the person. You feel me? I think I don't care how long you've been with the person. Everybody, every relationship has an expiration date. You got to keep that in mind. Now, we're not saying to like be worried about the ending, but just understand that like shit. The only thing that's really permanent is uh is literally your heartbeat and when it's time for God to call you home and or to call your partner home. Like you know what I'm saying? We're just here for a good amount of time. You feel me? To learn about ourselves, but also to have fun. But yeah, focus on yourself though, and don't worry about finding the right person. The right person is actually going to find you. Um, and it don't make sense chasing a woman who is like, why would you chase a woman who like? Because if she likes you, she's not gonna run away from you. You feel me? So if she's running or she's giving you, putting you through so much and shit, and like she's just using you for your non sexual energy. Uh, please peep that because some women really, not all, but some women ain't shit. They still want you in their life. They'll try to play as if like, hey, we could potentially be soulmates. The whole time she's just using you for money and validation. So keep in mind, you don't want to get caught up in that. And that's exactly why guys have to quote unquote have tactics because it's like, all right, now if she's blatantly just using you, but she don't really fuck with you, but she's just using you for money or confidence or validation, get the fuck out of there, bro. Because now she's draining your energy. She's not adding to your life. When she starts draining your energy, then that's when it becomes a problem. Okay. One more thing, ashwagandha gummies and SR is a wonderful combo. For sure. I actually need to re-up on some ashwagandha gummies. Them shits be fire. Number 5, tactics are for when she acts out, not for normal conversations. Now, one thing about women, bro, is like even when and again, this is not, and I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, if I ever have a wife and she's like watching this on replay, I'll be like, listen, bro, like, female nature is female nature. Like, get over it. I still fuck with you. Like, you still gonna get your pussy ate. But I'm just saying, like, at the same time, vibe out. You feel me? But there's times when women do act out, and sometimes may they may have like a reasoning, and sometimes the reason may be good. Sometimes it may not make sense to you. But at the same time, they are going to act how they act. Okay. So when this happens, this is when you don't overreact. You stay calm. Okay. Okay. Uh, they said I was 100% correct when I said, what the hell did I say? The fuck? Okay, I don't know why the fuck this shit's in all white. The only reason to use tactics is when she starts to act out, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. Okay, masculine strategy is for disrespect. So just in case, because sometimes women, they go have their moments where they talk crazy. This might be your girlfriend, this might be your wife, or it might be a girl that you're talking to. This is how you can kind of like weave them out, so you don't have to like get your energy drained. But masculine strategy is for disrespect, emotional chaos, boundary testing, dramatics, manipulative behavior, and inconsistencies. Okay. Uh, Not for normal feminine behavior like being shy, being playful, being curious, protective, or a little guarded. When she's normal, you don't change gears. You stay you. Okay? Stop trying to find a problem that doesn't exist. This is how a lot of guys come off as very manipulative, very narcissistic. You're trying to find something in a woman, and like she's chilling the whole time. She already fucked with you. You don't have to prove nothing. You don't have to prove anything. Vibe. But once you start looking for something that's not there, then that's when it becomes a problem. Okay. Now I've made that mistake before, and it's just like, fuck all this red pill shit. Fuck all this other extra shit. How do I feel? Let me recenter myself. Let me be unapologetically me. You get what I'm saying? Now, if it seems like because I'm not gonna lie, when you practice retention and you start to like, court women, your words hit a little bit different. So if you say you like her, if you start to use big words like "I love you" and shit like that, that's gonna like it's doing a lot to her heart and her brain and shit. Like, you feel me? It's like her brain is damn about to explode. Like, what do you mean you love me and shit? It's like women want to hear that, but then again they don't, because sometimes it becomes too overwhelming, or it's just like too soon, and then sometimes it comes off as not attractive, or she puts up a wall or a barrier, be like, okay, I fuck with you, but all this love shit, like now you talk about some other shit. You feel me? And the whole time for you, nigga, you just being yourself. If you're being yourself, don't even worry about it. Just don't say it too much. You feel me? If you really mean it, then say it. But you don't always have to say it. You know what I'm saying? Certain times, basically, again, if you are centered and if you're grounded, no matter what you say, you could be talking about being freaky. You could be talking about doing all type of sexual stuff, all type of shit, like for real. Like, we grown here. So with that being said, be yourself, but don't overshare. Give her space, give her time, give her time to miss you. Late night conversations, don't let it happen every night. Or if you guys are chilling late night, don't stay for too long, because now You feel me? Slowly but surely, the attraction kind of dies down. Like people who are usually in successful relationships, technically, sometimes they, most of the time they have a job. They go to some high paying job and like they're gone for like 8 hours, 9 hours at a time. So when they see their wife, when they see their husband, it's like that. It's like it's very refreshing. People don't understand, but like taking a step back, giving space, fasting, that will always keep attraction going 100%. Always. Okay. So it says I be cycling some ashwagandha into my SR. Definitely agree. Helps your body regulate your hormones and energies. 505. Keep going. Don't give up for sure. I have been taking spirulina. Can't pronounce that. That's embarrassing. But I know what you're talking about. Spirulina. Oh, y'all boys going crazy in the comment section. Boys going crazy in the comment section, dropping gems. With protein, minerals, and detox benefits. Also recommend trying supplement with a good quality algae supplement. Those are the best herbs. Thanks for the gems. Quick question. Does getting more attractive, intimate women and making guy friends jealous? I'm getting in shape and noticing it. He said, does getting more attractive, oh, does getting more intimidate women and make guy friends jealous? Um, honestly, bro, again, I don't want to say too much because I know like this isn't like the members only. But again, starting December 1st, when I start doing the members only live, that's when I get a lot more deep and in depth with just like situations that happen when you are practicing semen retention. There is a dark truth to semen retention, and I probably talk about that in like another video. I know I made plenty of videos of like about that like in the past, and you'd be surprised, bro. You'd be surprised at how some women may be intimidated, but some of them might be attractive. You got to understand, they might be attracted to you because they meet a lot of guys that really don't intimidate them nowadays. You know what I'm saying? And we talk about like guys' friends becoming jealous. In my opinion, bro, like I don't see what's the point of being jealous of another man. So if you got friends and they jealous, bro, like they are friends that are not gonna last that long. You feel me? They probably wasn't like your friend to begin with in the first place anyway. If they're gonna be jealous, that's just how I feel. All right, let me see. Item 6: How to be smooth without being strategic, quote unquote, the formula. Here's what you here's what you can say. All right, it says awareness before talking. Pause before you respond, not to think of a line, but to sync your energy. Number B: Speak from the chest and not from the head. Anything from your head feels like strategy. Anything from your chest feels like presence. C: Hold your frame subtly, not forcefully. Frame isn't something you do; it's something you are. Okay. Frame is very important, and I can make a whole separate video and live about like maintaining frame because you see a lot. Okay, I'll give you an example of a frame. Right? How many people know about like Funny Marco? Okay, Funny Marco. If you don't know who Funny Marco is, he's a comedian, but he's also like one of those like awkward comedians that is that's kind of like always controlling the frame by asking random questions or saying random things while still keeping a straight face. So he's talking to all these celebrities, and once he gets into the character of Funny Marco, that's a frame that he's in. When he's on the show, he's in that frame. You thinking like you know, well, how's he coming up with all these random things and stuff like that, right? Um, so that's just a particular frame. When he's on the show, you know, like I said, he's gonna. It seems like he's trolling and shit like that. But like when he's on like a serious show or when he's around other like serious people, like I think just recently he was on the Breakfast Club and he was being real. He was just being himself. Like he still was being the same funny Marco, but his frame was changed a little bit different because he was a lot more serious. And so you have to understand like timing, situations when you are talking to somebody. Understand your frame is super, super, super important. When you're talking to your woman on an intimate level, this is when you need to learn how to read body language. Learning how to read body language, understanding facial expressions, understanding expressions is key. All right. You will be able to understand her frame, her state, and her energy. This is how you can come off as being smooth just by reading her and not reading her in a way where it's like, oh, I can figure you out. It's like reading her to, in a way, kind of amplify positive emotions that she already has. If she has positive emotions, it's easy to amplify that if you know how to read body language. Now you can control the frame by still being smooth, still being, you know, the same you know, vibing. And once you know how to read body language, now you can be your own unique way. In your own unique way, you can be spontaneous. You can say literally whatever you want to say. Like dead ass serious. Like I'm telling you, a lot of shit gonna fly. But you have to be confident. If you're not confident, if you try to be like somebody else, it's gonna fall flat every time. So speak from the chest, not from your head. Anything from your head is like strategy. Anything from your chest is like presence. C, hold your frame subtly, not forcefully. Frame isn't something you do, it's something you are. D, let your natural personality shine. Laugh, be playful, be witty, but stay grounded underneath. Okay? So there's levels to it. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to the chat. You feel me? Shout out to We Still Rise, everybody in the building. My dog said, Loving Dean says, I take deep, strong breaths throughout the day randomly to help ground me and bring myself to the present moment. You'll be surprised of just taking deep breaths throughout the day. You can be so surprised at like how centered you become, bro. Like the shit is like crazy as hell. Like it takes away like a lot of anxiety, a lot of overthinking, literally just by breathing. Okay. Um, okay. And then E, only use masculine strategy when she's out of alignment. Never on a woman who is being soft, cooperative, or open. If she's something again, if she ain't give you no nothing to, if y'all ain't beefing, bro, ain't no point of you trying to put her in her place. She's already in her feminine state. Niggas niggas get it confused. A female will already be in their feminine state and now they're trying to be this, you know, this toxic masculinity and try to get into her mind because she's being sweet or she's being sincere. Like my nigga, chill. Do you like her or not? You get what I'm saying? Like number 7, the no manipulation blueprint that women can't feel. You blend tactics into your natural personality by learning this. Never act different, just be deeper. Okay? Too many men act differently when they learn game. Women hate this. And trust and believe. Thank God I'm not a typical Gemini. I've heard so much about Geminis and just like how we react or what we do and what we say and shit like that. But because like I am my own unique person, I'm my own unique Gemini and shit. Um, you know, I never have to like act a type of way because you know sometimes my words are just too be good to be true. You feel me? Like whether like she's gonna believe me or not, like I'm still gonna be myself regardless. You know. Um, so I don't know. Everybody has their own unique energy signature. You feel me? So um, I know for me, it's something that I don't even think about. I know practicing retention it definitely amplifies it, But I'm here to tell you, like, we all have like a natural creative energy outside of retaining our seed that, naturally as men, like we have our own quote unquote like game, or we have our own way of being smooth. Embrace that shit. Embrace it your own unique way. You'd be surprised. And if you are being yourself and it's not fitting the description of a female that you're talking to or whatnot, or she's not feeling that, or if you're talking too much, so the fuck what? Move the fuck on. Okay? If she's like, oh, that's too much, just leave. Don't be afraid to move on to the next. Okay? You should be purpose driven anyway. Uh, okay. Too many men act differently when they learn game. Women hate this. But when you stay yourself and simply deepen your presence, your breathing, your tone, pacing, awareness, groundness, and boundaries, she got nothing to do but to respect that. I don't give a fuck how you made her feel or the emotional ups and downs and shit like that. If you're in your presence, if you're breathing, your tone is right, your pacing, awareness, groundness, and boundaries, you good. It feels natural to her. It feels like you're maturing, not manipulating. That's how you become unpredictable and authentic. Okay. Number 8. Um, oh shit. I hate like when I do this. Let me see what's going on. See, in this email, they be having like some. Yeah, I can't read that. I'm not going. Okay, but that was for the most part. That was pretty much the gist of like that long question, or that was the long version of the answer for that question. Um, Keep in mind again, like, so breathing is very important, and just understanding emotional ups and downs, bro. You feel me? That's the biggest thing when it comes to like relationships, bro. Like, you know, now when it comes to like doing stuff around the house, taking out the trash, make again, if you're gonna like live with the female, because me personally, I haven't lived with a female, but I also have lived with people. I'm very aware of trying to keep the kitchen clean, trying to keep my area clean as much as possible, and staying locked in. Right, cleanliness is next to godliness. Um, Women will never forget how you uh, treat your area. You see what I'm saying? As far as being clean. So if you invite her over to the apartment or whatnot, you got your own spot or whatnot. Like, legitimately speaking, bro, like that's gonna, first of all, negative energy, anxiety, um, you know, awkward silence and all that shit's gonna go out the window because you're already inviting her into a clean environment. You know what I'm saying? Once you clean out your energy, make sure your environment is clean, right? So once your environment is clean, now you're setting the pace, you're setting the tone. You can be in your masculine frame and chill and vibe, okay? As long as she's feminine, as long as she's comfortable, as long as she's heard. Because again, you don't want her to act like just a little Barbie doll, not saying shit. Like, you want her to like engage with you. And the only way like she will engage with you is if you still be your own unique self. Okay. Now, sometimes like when you're chilling with a female, especially on when you're retaining your energy, what you want to do is at times let her express herself. Let her talk more than you talk. The only time you should be talking is whether or not like you're responding to what she's saying, or you're getting to know each other and shit, and like you want to tell her about some exciting story or some shit like that, or learn how to speak to her in a way where it's like the conversation is not too far fetched, but you still want her to engage her imagination. All right. A lot of times when guys be on the phone with girls and they don't know how to talk to women, bro, It's because they keep the conversation too linear. You feel me? When you keep it too linear and you keep it too factual, um, it takes away the spark from the conversation, number one. And sometimes I have to remind myself, okay, cool. I don't mind talking about logistics or things that we have to take care of or whatnot. That's cool. Keep a good balance. You still want to keep a good balance, but at the same time, and make sure you are incorporating y'all imagination. That's where the magic actually starts. That's where the attraction actually grows. When you can, like, when a way of like use incorporating the imagination is like simple. You can be like, what's the best place to go eat on a Saturday night or some shit like that. Or you get what I'm saying? Like you paint a picture and then you just ask her, be like, okay, if me and you was in this situation, how would you react? You feel me? Now that comes with like learning how to not only express yourself, but like also like a little bit of like storytelling, um, professional storytelling. I'm not talking about like lying on somebody or lying on your dick and shit like that. No, but I'm saying like once you understand like the elements of like a conversation, um, and again incorporating the imagination. Incorporating the imagination is like using your creative energy. Imagination energy is basically like sexual energy. So if you know that you're trying to preserve your sexual energy at that moment in time, you can still use that same sexual energy through conversation or through like y'all just vibing, you feel me, in the same place. And it doesn't have to be like you touching her or doing anything like that. Like y'all could just be literally watching um anything. Watching something on watching the game or watching Dexter's Laboratory. I don't know. Whatever the fuck. I don't know. It depends. I'm a 90s baby, so that's why I said that. But outside of that though, never neglect who you are. If she like you, if a company fuck with you, if your homeboys like, you know what I'm saying? When I say your homeboys, as far as like the guys that like, you go out and get hoes with and you vibe with and shit like that, if they fuck with you, um, embrace yourself. You feel me? Embrace like your character and shit because you have your own unique energy. The very second motherfuckers try to change you, that's when you need to like cut everybody off. The second that they try to change you, impose their will onto your life, if they don't respect your ideology, if they don't respect your boundaries, this goes for family too, especially family as well. You got to separate yourself because as a man, you have to stand for something. If you don't stand for something, you're going to fall for every goddamn thing that anybody pushes in your plate. Okay. So somebody also asked too a while ago, they asked something about like, how can I stay on the retention journey? Because sometimes, they get depressed out of nowhere. Usually, if you get depressed out of nowhere, that literally is you losing focus of what you got to do. And I'm glad, I'm number one, I'm glad that they asked that question. Like, I don't believe like there's no stupid question or anything like that. But from time to time, that should be happening with me. But then I realized I'm like, damn, I'm losing I like, let me refocus. Like, what is the plan? Okay, I was supposed to be applying for a couple grants. I still got to, check my emails. I still got to, come up with different ideas for like, content throughout the week. There's a lot of stuff that I need to be doing. Like, why am I getting caught up in this depressive state? Just because my manifestations aren't moving as fast as I would like them to. Granted, this time around, this is not blind faith. Like I've put in the work. I'm in position to get like a little loan some and stuff. So January, February, March, don't be surprised, the background and everything gonna be different. I'm gonna have my own studio, have my own spot, I have equipment. Uh, you know, I'm not gonna lie, my drip, I even tell y'all, but a long time ago when I was like racking up on just like buying different clothes and stuff, I had different, hoodies and shit like that. Like one of my favorite hoodies was the Nike hoodie where I had like a whole bunch of Nike checks on it and it was black. Apparently, somebody who was my roommate at the time, they actually robbed me. They stole my hoodies, all my clothes, all my most expensive shoes, all that shit. They robbed me, bro. But at the time, I ain't have time to go through all my stuff and be like, damn, bro, I ain't noticed this was missing, or whatever. So it's like, first of all, material things are just material things, bro. Like at the end of the day, what do you consider to be power? If you even think of the idea of power, you wouldn't even know what power is unless like you was a conscious being or a sentient being experiencing power, like power of the sun, power of mother nature, power of your thoughts, power of your emotions, power of being centered, power of semen retention, power of female attraction, power of female intuition, power of male intuition. You feel me? To be in a sentient being form and understanding like the concept of power, number one, that's a blessing. And number two, that right there should empower you. You should embody that energy. Okay. So as far as like the female attraction and stuff goes, again, that's always going to be there. Again, if you want to have a son one day, have a daughter one day, if you want to have raise a whole village and whatnot, then you have to understand emotions, female emotions, male emotions, um, people who are younger than you, generations that are older than you, understand different ideologies and shit while still remaining centered within your own ideology. All right. So once again, there's a lot more that I want to talk about. There's a lot more that I want to say, but I got eyes on me and shit, so I can't say too much. But as of right now, um, make sure you're working out, bro. Make sure you get your push-ups in. I know I haven't been doing my push-ups on live. Like I'm not gonna do it tonight because I'm tired. I'm not gonna hold you, but I am going to still be doing my push-ups and um, running my laps and stuff. I did 2.5 miles today. Before I did this live, I ran for about 2.5 miles. No, that's cap. I ran for 22 minutes, but I jogged halfway, walked another mile and a half. First day, because again, I plan on going for a run at least 3 times a week. Um, I am also preparing myself to play in a adult league basketball, like a local basketball league. Because I still got it, but I want to put myself into things where I can organize and utilize my life force energy. So that way I'm a lot more sharper when it comes to dealing with my lady. If whenever I do have my lady and shit like that, um, you notice the reason why like women like to date athletes and rappers, it's not because they really have a lot of money. To be totally honest, the only reason why women like to date athletes and rappers, if you're an athlete, you're an athlete. You got stamina, you got muscles, you got wind and everything. You can do a lot. You know what I'm saying? Women find that very attractive if you're in shape. A lot of guys naturally, believe it or not, don't be doing push-ups, don't be in shape. They just be like, man, accept me as I am. I'm masculine, it is what it is. But if you can actually like work on yourself and become like attractive in that department, literally be an athlete. You don't gotta be a superstar or whatnot. You can be LA Fitness Hall of Fame for all I give a fuck. You feel me? I really don't care as long as you're staying active and healthy. So, and again, women like to date rappers. The reason why women like to date rappers, again, yes, it's the money and shit, but it's not even because of the money. It's literally because when you're a rapper, you become an alchemist of words. You become an alchemist of creativity. You can make her laugh. You can make her smile. You can make her jealous. You can make her feel all types of arrays of emotions because you're a rapper. You feel me? When you talk about rapping, you have to think about storytelling, metaphors, different ways of saying things that are shock value. See what I'm saying? So um, you don't necessarily have to be LeBron James, or you don't necessarily have to be Rick James or Future Hendrix. You don't have to be none of these niggas. Okay, you can literally utilize your energy. You can train by yourself. You can do voice memos just to work on your voice if you want to like really learn how to speak from the chest, or like learn how to talk to different audiences. Like here's like a experiment that you can do if you like, without putting it out for the world to see. But you can make different recordings. Uh, if I was making like different recordings, I'd be like, make a recording to what you would say to your niece. Make a recording to what you say to your nephew. Make a recording to what you'd say to your little sister. Make a recording to what you say to your older sister. Make a recording to your brother. Make it like whether it's your younger brother or your older brother. Make a recording to your dad. Make a recording to your mom. Make a recording to your friend. Make a recording to your girlfriend. Make a recording to a random girl. Once you do this, you start to see like, damn, you either gonna be talking in different tones because you're gonna like, okay, like this is a, I know what my audience is, so I have to adapt to that tone. That's literally practicing. If you are an introvert, that's the best thing that you can do. You feel me? Your throat chakra is super powerful, bro. You feel me? It can get you money, or it can get you locked up. You feel me? It's powerful. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. So to become uniquely you, and be and also, you know, attract the women and stuff, don't be afraid to be yourself. If you need to express yourself, express yourself. If you feel like you need to, it's a talkative day for you, my nigga, you might have to talk. You might have to like express yourself, dog. And I know I sound contradicting, but I'm also being honest. Some guys aren't meant to just stay quiet. You feel me? Sometimes, like if you're dealing with a female and she fucks with you because you know how to engage, or you know how to talk, you know how to like make her laugh, you know how to like, you feel me? It's very important. Like just because you learn something online, and somebody's telling you not to talk too much and this and that, like you're not supposed to change who you are. Tactics, once again, are only for when a woman is disagreeing with you, or she has like emotional ups and downs, or she's shit testing you. That's the only time when you should be like, okay, let me center myself, let me get serious. Or the level of disrespect is beyond the ceiling, so I have to really learn. You got to put her in her place. That's gonna turn her on too, by the way. It actually would. Shout out to Grindly, Grindly Feed Productions. You said what up? Been watching you for a while. You got some gems, bro. Stay up. Nah, for sure, bro. Yeah, man. The thing about it, bro, is just, again, just being yourself. Have your own unique energy. Have your own magnetism, and things will just happen the way how it's supposed to happen. All right. So, with that being said, um, there's more that I want to talk about, but I'm gonna end the live for tonight. MGT, what it do, your boy Moodystarr, and back again with another video. If you're new, you already know what to do, man. Become a subscriber, like the video, and join the MGT. This is a channel where I like to highlight current events and talk about my spiritual walk in. It's beautiful, fucked up. So I always ask majors. Now, first of all, I got to say a special shout out to anybody that's holding on to your energy, going within and being high vibrational. Here at MGT, this is what we do. We work on ourselves every single day. Intro for the outro. If you was here for the whole live, you the GOAT. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure you leave a like, comment down below. Any questions for the next live, let me know. Um, Again, members only. If you want to sign up for members only, get your spot now. I already have like some saved videos from the past. It's very informative. Um, I can go more into depth as far as the psychology of women and all of that. I study this every day. And it's not, I don't do it because I'm obsessed with women or anything like that. It's because the reason why I have to study the psychology of women and also study the psychology of my brain is because when you practice semen retention, you attract a lot of women, you attract a lot of different types of opportunities. And when I say you attract a lot of women, it's going to be in subtle ways. It's going to be when you go out in public, like before you know it. Like, you have to be on your toes, bro. Like, especially during the holiday season, bro, they are outside. Okay. And it takes nothing. It takes nothing. Okay. So I'm gonna chop it up with you guys again. It's been your boy Moodystarr. Like, share, drop a bag on the Cash App to support the team. The Cash App is Moodystarr8. If you resonate with this message, you resonate with this information, leave a super chat, Cash App, or also check out the PayPal as well, which is Moodystarr. But check out the Patreon, excuse me. Check out the Patreon. I have about 26 to 30 videos, very informative. Starting the month of December, we're going to go hard. Okay. Pause. But we are going to really learn more about ourselves and understand the benefits of retaining our energy, the benefits of glowing, the benefits of, staying on, being purpose driven. Put your purpose first, everything is going to follow exactly how it needs to follow. Get what I'm saying? So other than that, I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna definitely see you guys on the next video, bro. Peace.